It's definitely real nice. You know, Coach B put a lot of good years in here, and he's going to do a lot of great things down there in Clemson. But if I were to pick one person to be his successor, it would have been Coach Donlin. So he's just a fiery guy, and no substitute for hard work. And he's gotten on us an awful lot, and I think we'll be ready for the season, and we're ready to get going right now, actually. Pretty similar. You know, the defense isn't going to change too much because, you know, it worked, and it was just stifling, and guys were getting all over the place. But offensively, I think it's going to be a little more fast-paced. We're going to get in people's face a little bit more, and you know, it's kind of nice to get a little change and run up and down the court a little bit, and I think it's going to be for the better. Right, Butler definitely raised the stakes a little bit in the Horizon League and demanded a lot more from all the teams. You know, this year our goals, we're so young, and I think it's just to get better every day. You know, the seniors have to do a great job of leading the young guys and making sure that they come along like they should, and I think that if we do that, we'll be okay, and I think that's the only kind of goals we can have right now. Definitely a talented bunch. I think you guys will be surprised with their athleticism. We're not the old team where, you know, we're going to can't really play man-to-man all in your face, and these guys will be running all over the place, and definitely a lot more height than you know, with Coach Donlin taking the reins and everything, that they're going to come along just fine and they're going to produce for us right away. I think the seniors definitely talk about that. You know, we don't want to be out, have our senior year and the streak, but you know, we gotta focus on getting better every day, and that's, you know, we can talk about small talk, but in the big picture, it doesn't really mean much. We're just trying to win basketball games and get this team to where it needs to be.
I feel it's been a very smooth transition. I mean, Coach Donlin came right in, and you know, right from the get-go, from that very first day, nothing changed. We had workouts that next day, and all the way up to now, he's worked us extremely hard. I think he's going to do a great job, and you know, I wish Coach Brunell all the success in the world, but I feel Coach Donlin's going to do a great job, and the relationship he's built with all the players here, I think, is going to really benefit us. I mean, with 7 new guys, a new head coach, I mean, we don't have the weight of the world on our shoulders. You know, we can go out, focus on, you know, just trying to get better, and then hopefully down the road win some games along the way, and then by the end of the season, I feel we'll hopefully hit our peak with all this work and hopefully do some good things this year. Like you said, Butler had a great year last year, but I'm sure they'll have a good year this year, but I feel we have some very talented guys, and you know, we can't worry about them or anybody else in the league. We got to worry about ourselves, and you know, we're a pretty good team as well.
I mean, they're two different people, 2 different personalities. So of course, you know, Coach Donlin's going to run things differently than Coach Brunell. And Coach Donlin was a player more recently than Coach Brunell does, so he does a really good job of relating to us. That's one of the bigger differences, I think. So far. Well, all the freshmen, they're all really hard workers, and that's probably the most important thing that you look for in young players is you know, their attitudes and their work ethics. And all the guys who got here, they've been real receptive. They're all really hard workers. They listen to everything that the older players and the coaches have to say. So the transition for them has been really good so far.
I think you have to feel some of the benefits because of what they've done, and I think it's the change in the culture in college basketball. You know, 5 years ago when I was at UNC Wilmington, we were the best team in that league, and George Mason went to the Final Four. They finished second to us, and 5 years later we're in another league where there's another team that makes a run. You know, the parity in the game has changed. There's good players all over the place. There's good programs, good coaches everywhere, and I think Butler has just solidified that. And certainly it shows our league has always been represented very well in the NCAA tournament. When you look at how many times we've won games, you know, the hardest thing for a mid-major program to do is to get in the NCAA tournament, not win once they're in there. And I think Butler and teams in the past have shown that. No, I think it's going to be baptism by fire. I mean, you know, how else you want me to, you know, they've got to get game experience right away. I think the one thing that they have is they have 4 players they're going to go against every day in practice that are all conference caliber. You know, Vaughn, Troy, Nagai, and Cooper are all conference caliber players. And as I told the new guys, not everywhere you go do you get that opportunity. You know, and so hopefully this first month of practice before games really start, those guys take advantage of that, and it also means the seniors have to bring it every day, so that those new guys are getting a real look at what an all-conference player is capable of doing.
Anymore?
I don't want to define it, because if you don't want to be a freshman from the minute you walk in the door, you want to be a junior. That gets my vote. I think every player's maturity, both as an athlete, as a student, is different. And I think as a coach, you have a responsibility to each individual player to recognize their rate of maturation. And certainly there's a time for you to be patient, and then there's a time for you to not be so patient. And that's kind of the constant battle that I think every coach has.